back to the channel, everyone. Well, today I will be discussing the steps that you need to be aware of when you visit the optometrist. Now, I was at a mobile eye care service session over the weekend, and based on what I have seen, it is important for persons to know the necessary steps. So, while I was there, after setup and all, I noticed that persons, they went to a registration area. So at that registration area, there is a form that all patients must complete. All right? They can complete it individually by themselves or with the assistance of the person at the doing the registration or at the registration area. Now, on that form, they would complete personal information, medical information, and eye care information. All right. Now, when it comes on to medical information, they want to know if you suffer from high blood pressure. A very important point. And I'll talk a little bit more on that. They also want to know if you are epileptic, if you suffer from epilepsy. And then when it comes on to your eye, they want to know if you have done any eye surgery before, if you experience blurred vision or light sensitivity, as well as pain in the eye, watery or runny eyes, and also if you experience graininess or soreness within the eye. All right, so from these information, it will be passed on to different persons. So there are different areas that are set up during the process. So you move from one stage to the other. All right, so there's a waiting area for all patients. So they sit accordingly as how they come for eye testing. All right. So once one person has completed the process, then somebody else move on, and then it continues like that. So during registration though, I noticed that person's blood pressure was checked. They did a blood pressure check. But I think maybe like an hour later, I realized that one of the patient whose blood pressure was tested was still there after several persons have left. So I started to inquire, why is this patient still here? What is happening? All right, and I was told the patient's blood pressure was too high. All right, so the patient was there for some time, trying to get the pressure down, because in all fairness and honesty, you came to get your eyes tested and to select your glasses or your glass, and you just didn't want to go back home knowing that the purpose for which you came was not accomplished. So the individual was there for quite some time. And what I also found out is that once the pressure is high, once the readings are done, those readings will not be the correct readings. Because remember, under normal blood pressure circumstances or situation, that would reflect a different reading, as opposed to when the blood pressure is very high. And once that blood pressure is high, if they should go ahead with everything, when the patient receives the glasses, the readings that was done and the prescription that was prescribed for the glasses would not be the correct prescription for the glasses, based on the fact that the individual's blood pressure was too high. And so they had to just let her come back for another appointment, because no matter what was done, the pressure just seems to not go down. All right, so she had to get another appointment to see them, and hopefully, at that time the pressure would be down. But in such a case, the patient could have or can suffer what is known as an eye stroke. And if such should happen, that would require emergent medical attention. That now becomes an emergency. All right? Because that eye stroke can lead to blindness. And so it is very important that once the blood pressure is checked at registration and that pressure is high, then that blood pressure has to be dealt with before the continuation of the process. All right? And once that is done, they also pay a eye testing fee. So the eye testing fee is different from the fee for the glasses, all right, or the cost for the glasses. So they had to pay that fee, because just like in the case of the patient who had the high blood pressure, she only could have sorted out the eye testing fee because the process could not continue. She was not able to do the other testings, and she was not able to do the selection of her glass. All right, so these are important. Our entire body, all right, and the different parts of our body are very important, because if one is affected, it also affects the impact of the other parts of our bodies. All right, so these are things that we should not ignore. Once we recognize signs and symptoms, we must deal with them urgently. All right, and I must commend the team for the way that I see them handling the situation. It was well done. Stay tuned for highlights of each stage. So I want you to stay tuned for highlights from each process. So after the registration process is completed, you are now sent to do your eye testing. And this is done in 2 steps. All right, so the first step is the use of a Snellen chart, which is placed 20 feet away from the patient. This particular chart contains letters and numbers. These letters and numbers are used to allow these letters and numbers are used to allow the patient to read them, all right, from the distance at which they are. All right, good. So the patient is given an eye occluder. All right, so the eye occluder is used to test visual acuity. When that is done, they have to cover one eye, then read the letters from top all the way down. Once they can't go any further, once they can't see anything else clearly, all right, they would be told to stop right there. They would then now reverse the process. So the occluder would be placed on the other eye, all right, and then they'll use the other eye to read those same letters once more. Once that is done, wherever they are having issues or troubles reading or recognizing those letters, they would be told to stop there. No, from reading those letters, all right, it is said that once patient receive 3 or more errors, it means that they should not continue any further. What do I mean by errors? Meaning they get the letter incorrectly or they can't see any further. And so as of such, they would have to end the process there. All right. So step 1 or part 1 of the eye testing phase is where the Snellen chart is used for the individual or the patient now to use the occluder to determine whether or not the individual's eye level of acuity is good or bad. Now, at the next stage, a PHOROPTER is used to test patients' lenses on each eye to determine whether they are nearsighted, farsighted, or astigmatic, among others. Patients will spend some amount of time wearing the machine, and the optometrist will switch multiple lenses in front of their eyes to find the right combination for the best vision possible. In addition to that, The optometrist may also recommend eye drops in the case where persons may have dry eyes. All right. And when that is done, a pupillometer machine is used to measure the pupil's distance. And that is necessary to determine the prescription that the patient needs to receive in the lenses for the glasses. All right. Now, what type of lens? That the optometrist will decide. All right. In addition to that, some patients may require dilation test. What do I mean by a dilation test? This is a test that is done to determine whether the patient has cataract, glaucoma, or bleeding in the eye. All right. And so at this stage, they will be given an eye drop that is placed in the eye, and then that is there for some time. And after the requisite time now, they will go back to the optometrist for further testing. All right. So this is like an advanced test outside of the regular eye test. Now, this stage I would say is the most exciting stage, because I've seen the smile on the faces of the patients. And then, when that is happening, I remember the song, "Put a smile on your face, put a smile on your face." I just remember that the words from that song. It's not all the words, but those are the words. And some of the words. And it just had me smiling as well. And it was a good experience to see the patients now having the option to select several different glasses, get them fitted, and then choose the one that they love, in addition with the perspective of the professionals. Because sometimes we may choose glasses that, even though they look good, appropriate for the type of lenses, whether single vision lens, whether bifocal, or whether progressive, it's not suiting or suitable for those type of lenses. So sometimes that process, the selection process of their individual glass, can sometimes be lengthy, while for others it's just 1-2. In no time they get that process done. All right. So at that stage, they have to bear in mind many things. All right, so outside of the type of lenses that the professional have to consider, when the patient is selecting their glasses, you have to look at their face type. And what do I mean by face type? Some of us have round faces, some of us have oval shaped faces, some of us have heart shaped faces, some of us have square shaped faces, etc. All right, so we have to look at that. Then we have to look at the individual complexion or color. So if you're dark skin, if you're light skin, all of those have to be taken into consideration, as well as your lifestyle. All right. So if you are an office worker or a teacher or or just an individual that goes about their business on a daily basis, here and there, you may just need something simple and nice. All right, as opposed to those who are in entertainment, who are in a profession that's very active and busy, and they just need to look the part, then they might consider bright colors, etc., etc. But nevertheless, sometimes for some patients, those things does not matter. It is what they feel more comfortable in and what they think fits them best. Because as they would say, you are not the one wearing the glasses. I am the one that's going to be wearing that glass for the next 2 years, the next year before it's renewed. So sometimes they bypass the opinion of the professional and go with their own feeling and belief or thought on the particular glass. And sometimes it does work out, but other times, So you have to take the professionals in mind because they are the ones that are more and most experienced. Now, also, to determine the final payment, some persons may require blue light, or some persons may require transitions. These come at an additional cost. And so if these are things that you may require, an individual that does not need those things, the cost of their glass would be less than the glass of somebody else that requires these things. All right. So when you're going in, even if you're uncertain, it is important that you make a call. You know you want your eyes to be tested. You know where you're going to go to get your eyes tested. Give them a call. Ask them, what is if I want blue lighting, what is the cost? Or blue light, what is the cost? If I want transitions, what is the cost? So when you're going in, you already have an idea of what your total amount might be. Now, if you do not have that full amount going in, you can discuss a payment plan and then they will give you the relevant information as to how that payment plan will work. But note that before your glasses can be sent to the lab, some form of payment must be made. All right? So don't go to the optometrist without any cash. Even though if you go without cash, that cash can still be paid at a later date. Later date meaning you don't take forever to do it. All right. So payment can be made at the office directly, and payment can also be made online. Good. So if you can't get to the office, all you need to do is to ask them for their online banking information, and you can make that transaction online. If you can go to the office, not a problem. Walk in, make your payment. All right. Now, I know when it comes on to eye care, there are some of us who are very serious about it, and there are others who are playing around. Every part of our body is important. Every single organ important. And things can happen in life where we lose our eye. But while we are in the position to take care of it, let us take care of it. And people, don't get the prescription glasses and put them down. The purpose of it, is to help with your vision, to allow you to be better able to see. And if you get them and you just put them aside like that, it's not going to improve your vision. You're going to complain day in and day out that this glass is not working for me. It's not working for me. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to live in it 24/7, But if you're at home watching television, browsing on your phone, or you're on your laptop, whichever device you're on, light emits from that device. And so the fact that light emits from that device, you need to have your glasses on. So, be smart, be wise, use your lovely glasses. And I'm telling you, that mobile eye care service over the weekend, it was a bomb. When I saw the persons fitting their glasses and when they have made their final selection, I was smiling from here to here because they look so beautiful and handsome in their glasses. All right, so stay tuned for some of that feedback. Remember, guys, to subscribe to the channel, to like the video, to comment, and to share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, see you in the next one.